right now. And game is here. Stream chat is here. This is beta because I'm lazy. Stream chat is here. If I'm grabbing any friends, I can see it here. I already grabbed some friends. You just probably unmuted. That's fine. If okay, let me see if I can get any sound. Sound. Oh, because I'm not playing anything. There. Let me see. They're on this side. Okay, cool. That works. That should be it. Let's get started. Can you see my mouse? No, you cannot. That's great. Okay, let's get started. I need to set my buttons because I haven't used the stick on this thing. Okay, that's right. 2, and that's that. Okay, I haven't used the beta in a while because I just re-downloaded it. Okay. Anyone who's wondering, I'm doing this on beta because I'm lazy. And when I deleted Skullgirls because I don't want to play it much, I re-downloaded the beta because that would be easier. I don't want to have like story and stuff like that. I don't care about that. And like achievements and stuff, it's not something I care about. Attack it up. Let's just not have that. Put display bugs. Let's just have that one. What else? Everything. That's fine. First connect now. Okay, cool. Let's get to it. So, what the point of this stream tutorial thingy, I'm just gonna talk about it for a while, is team building. And it's something that I feel is, how would I word it? Like, people just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna pick this character and this character because I like them, like with the waifu character, like the waifu factor. And I think that's fine for the most part, but if you're really sort of thinking about, like creating good teams and, finding synergy and finding really cheap stuff, then having just waifu factor kind of is not enough. And I feel like this kind of me just talking about it is hopefully some sort of direction towards people who want to pick up a team and kind of feel like, it's a good team and they can, pursue it to higher levels and stuff like that. So the first thing you obviously want to look at is whether you want to play 2 or 3 characters. This depends on the region. The region's quote unquote meta. I don't want to use that term because I think it's stupid. I don't want to use that term enough because a lot because I think it's stupid. But like the meta of the region, like what does the region think? Like over here in Oceania, we usually kind of believe mostly in 3-man teams because we think that having more options uh, with that trio is more important than the high damage duo does and stuff like that. For the most part, anyway. Like, there are some who disagree, but whatever. Uh, Europe, as far as I've seen, also kind of believes in 3 characters a lot. America believes in 2 characters for a fair bit, but they're starting to change towards 3 characters, which I think is it's up to them. It's their discretion. Um, if you pick I mean, obviously, if you pick solo, like solo is not that good. 2 characters, you get some options. You get 1 assist per character. Like some teams can work better as duos because the individual synergy between 2 characters is better as compared to kind of trying to fit a third wheel in, so to speak. But I think most teams you can find synergies with teams that will be better. You have more options than compared to having just a duo. So there's that. The second thing you want to look at is formulating your game plan, and this is kind of where you can how do I work this? There's several things that go into formulating a game plan. First of all, do I have this? Yes, no, I don't have that. I don't have my new team on it. I have my old teams, but the first thing you want to look into formulating a game plan is what characters do you want to play. So, you know, uh, for my team, I had what else did I have? Because colors is also important in forming a game plan. Not really, I'm just rolling. But what character did I? What color did I have? I forgot. There's a really cool color somewhere. Kodo. I'll pick it. I'll pick this. No. Um, Let me just pick my colors real quick and then we'll talk about it. I'll pick that. Pick that. Uh, because sound packs are very important. I'll pick the other things. Okay. Cool. Okay, so first of all, you pick your team. So there's several things that go into it. First of all, like what characters do you want to play? I mean, it's not particularly in order, but it's like I will personally look at like what characters do I want to play first. And first of all, I was looking at Rebel Fortune because when she came out, I thought Beam Assist is gonna be really good, and it's stayed good since basically the character. The first time Beam Assist came out, I thought Beam Assist was gonna be really good, and so far I haven't been wrong on that. Like it's not. Beam Assist is still really good, and I think it's gonna remain good because the character is just really that the assist is just really that good. There's several things that go into it, but I won't go into it too well. So like I wanted to pick Robo because the beam assist is really good, and I feel like you need to have some sort of experience against it or playing it. So I feel like it's a problem, so I feel like I should play it. And then I was like, okay, well, what kind of characters do I want to build around it? So I picked Big Band because Big Band is, I would say, Big Band Light Extend is pretty much Robo's best assist by far. It allows her conversions from off of throw, off of random hits, like any sort of air connects. You can use it and get an easy conversion. You could use it for, what else could you use it for? Like if you want to poke safely with with Robo's crushing medium kick, you can use it to convert off of it. You can use it to convert off of dust. There's plenty of such situations, and it's a really good defensive assist as well because it's Big Band's huge. He's gonna cover the whole screen. I don't know why I did something with my hands there, but I did. He's gonna cover the whole screen basically with his own hitbox that allows Robo to kind of stand behind him and kind of look at the situation, like what's going on. If you need something, like if something requires action, you can kind of use Big Band as a shield and kind of just back off and see what you want to do. It allows you to deal with reaction based. It helps your reaction based defense because you can kind of cover it. You can be like, okay, I'm hiding behind him. I can react to things easier because I'm not gonna get hit by anything right now. The second thing, it's really good for DHCs. It's extremely good. Big Man just does a lot of damage in DHCs, and it's really useful for that. And it's Robo Fortune has extremely low defense. She is extremely lacking in defense. Not low defense. That's a different term. But so it's a get off me. It's one of the best get off me assists. Like you have to deal with it. It's just kind of, he's gonna come up, he's gonna clap, and you gotta deal with it. There's several ways to deal with it, but like it's really useful for that at the very least. So I personally care more about it in terms of its conversion abilities rather than its straight up defensive abilities because defenses, DP assists as defense are okay, but like they're the worst kind of good okay defensive tools. So like if I had a better if there was a better DP that allowed me to do the same things that Beat Extend does, I would play that character. Simply. Then I was like, okay, well I need a third character because I wanted to play a third character because I thought RoboHush and Big Ben was not enough. I mean, it is kind of enough, but like you need to. So what Misfortune does is like, okay, well, dash assist, it's dash AC, really good. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Like, okay, so that's my sort of general game plan. Is I want to play Robo Fortune, like not necessarily game plan, but like objectives that I want to fill in terms of building my team. It's like, okay, I want to play Robo Fortune, and I want to use that Beam Assist. What are the characters that can help me with that? So it's like Big Band helps me with because different, like just my general assist, and Misfortune helps me because she's a really good point character, and she helps. She uses Beam extremely well, and it has a number of different sort of opportunity, different things I can do with it. Okay, so with that, let's pick a just pick that because I need a dummy. So, whoa, things going on. Okay, so when you pick your team, it's important to kind of formulate a game plan that you will follow in the match. It's like this is how I want my game to go. Well, let's say stay here. With my team, I have several different options. I have several different approaches I can take in the neutral game, and having a good neutral game is really important. First off, I can back up and call beam and kind of run in after that. It's a oh man, it's kind of loud. Um, but like I can use beam as a cover for me as I go in, or I can use beam as a cover for me when I want to just back off, like and just run around and do stupid things, like stuff like that. It's just run away, generally run away. It works well. Beam works well because it just covers that screen, that part, this part right away, right here. This is not right. I'll just set it. I'll just set my macros because okay, there we go. No. Whatever. So I have this assist and stuff like that, like covers me. But like my general game plan, what I want to do in the match. If I how am I gonna get my first hit? And if I get my first hit, what am I gonna do with it? What is my general game plan? Do I wanna continue with my point character? Do I want it as a thing that I'm going to use to bring Robo in? Like, there are some teams, like, this is more thing in Marvel 3 with, like, Dormammu, where Dormammu is not a very good point character. He's going to get mauled by most of the point characters, like Magneto, like, especially at around start, Magneto's going to be over here, Dormammu's going to be just terrorized. It just doesn't work. But, like, Dormammu doesn't work as an anchor either, so he's like a secondary point that you want to set up from someone else. So it's like, what the hell? Because you have to set him up, it's about finding a character that works well as a point that can help set him up. So taking that idea and applying it to Robo Fortune, it's, if I want to use a team that uses Robo Fortune well, I need to find a way that kind of brings her in really well. And there are several things that kind of go into it in terms of picking a character, like how the synergy works and stuff like that, or whatever. So I have misfortune. If I get a hit, and I'm pretty, I'm gonna turn it up volume slightly. Where's the thing? Turn it down. It's far too loud. There we go. I can put on some music now. It's fine. So like, when I get a hit with misfortune, what I want to do with it? I want some sort of positional advantage. I want the corner, basically, is what I'm gonna say. Like, I really want the corner because, especially with headless, there are several things you can do. What I can do. Like, you can set it up like cross-ups, hella stuff with it. It's really good. Headless in the corner is just terrifying times. It's just, you're gonna get, it's destruction. So I want the corner. And I want, Robo Fortune. Oh god, I don't want this. Whatever. I want the corner. How am I gonna get to the corner? I can use one of my long corner carry combos. That's fine. But then, it's okay, so I kill the first character, like, you have to develop your game plan in a how would I say this, like, you have to plan ahead, like, okay, I get I get the first character, I want the second character, like, assume it's a 3v3 or like a 3v2, like, I kill the first character, what I'm gonna do with the second character. There's plenty of different options with my team. I can continue with headless and kind of just go with it, and headless mix-ups in the corner are just, like I said, terrifying. You can look at Skippy's video for that. It's just really good stuff. So, but I can also get Robo in. And there's some other books I wanted to deck, but main reason I would want to bring Robo in is because her air throw. Oh god. You can easily convert off of it. It's really easy. I'll actually convert off this. save a state in the corner. So if I get Robo in, I have several useful set play tools I can use. Crushing leg kick as I want to confirm it exists. Oh yeah. Yeah, something like that. I haven't played this game in a long time. So you can use that to set it up. You can use, really good corner mix-ups, and, you know, in the corner, Robo Fortune's mix-ups just go up a ton better. So, especially if I kind of, let's get Fortune in. If, getting in the neutral game, my point character takes a lot of damage. I want to save my point character's life by, infinite, normal, and W. Like, like stuff like that. So I have, Fortune has, oh god, I can't make that was awful. There we go. That was another. Like, this is the situation, I've taken a lot of damage in neutral, and kind of I'm really low on life. I would want, let's just get out of here. I would want to get Fortune out. So, like, that was you have to look at different situations in the match and kind of go with, okay, I have this sort of situation. What is my best plan of attack now? My best plan of attack at this point, especially against a duo, because duos, they do a lot of damage, and Big Band's gonna be incoming, so he's gonna be mashing something, right? If I get hit by it, I'm gonna die. If I block something, do the chip, I'll probably also die, because 2v3 is really stupid. Just like, okay, well, how do I kind of maintain my corner advantage, while at the same time kind of not die from a block super? Like block something into a super. I don't want to die from that. So it's like, okay, well, I can get Robo in for my safe set play, and at the same time, Fortune's life is coming back right now. So it's like, okay, I can stall time with it. How I'm gonna do that? I need to set that up somehow. Let's just put it back in infinite. No, not infinite. Norm. 100. So people kind of see the idea. Like, okay, you can do like stuff like that with the HX kick and kind of bring Robo in. I haven't particularly messed with it. There's stuff you can do with it. I know for sure. Like, he gets out, you bring Robo in. This stuff you can do with it. It's not particularly like well fleshed out right now for me. But there's like you can do, especially with like Nom. Let's get character out. Like if you do Nom tag, you can kind of you can just tag off of it and kind of combo off of it in the corner. There's stuff you can do. So like that's knowing stuff like that is useful, and knowing that okay, well I can use that as a quote-unquote safety and C. It's not particularly safe. There's stuff you can do to punish it, but that's not the point. You can do stuff like that to kind of get the character out. So it's like you need to have different. I mean, this wasn't particularly coherent, but your team needs to be. You need to have understood at every point what kind of thing you can do to kind of maximize your advantage. If Miss Fortune's on low life, I'm not gonna stay here in the corner because it's a point where I want to rush my mix-up down, and I'm probably gonna be headless. And if I get supered, like especially if we get like Dynamo or whatever, I'm gonna die. It's the stay. I'm probably gonna die especially if I have low life. And with headless, I kind of have cut low life. But like, so I'm like, okay, well I want to get in a Robo and kind of run Robo set play, and now I have to study that. Okay, if I have to run Robo, what the hell was the head? Oh, head's in the background. I didn't know that. But like, if I want to run Robo set play now, I have to learn. Okay, how do I set that up? It's I keep thinking here dash. I wish you had one. Whatever. it's like, okay, well, I was gonna say, like, with the Dormammu example, like, I want to set up Robo Fortune. I don't want to have Misfortune all the time in the corner. I don't, it would be nice, and I think because Headless kind of mix-ups in the corner are better than what Robo has, but what Robo has is safe. But not, like, I mean, it's safer than average. It's a thing that I would like to do. And kind of with that, I'm trying to lose my train of thoughts about how would I word this properly. I'm trying to think of the right words. It's really frustrating. Uh, like, okay, well, I have this. Now I have this situation. So I have, I got Headless out. I didn't, I was low on life. I just wanted Headless out. What do I have over here? What are my options now? Before that, I was like, okay, what are my options now? My options here are kind of use Beam, as a tool to rush down. I can use Beam myself, like Robo's body, not Robo's, Fortune's body, Beam, and kind of the head, to work in a triangle, kind of, covering each other. And that's really useful, especially for neutral game, especially when you have, like, big bands just, just don't do anything. Thing that just covers this entire kind of part of the screen, It's a really, yeah, there we go. It's a really useful tool to have. But then, okay, when I have Robo out, what I'm going to do over here? It's like, okay, I have Big Man Assist, which is useful for conversions. It's useful as a defensive tool. It's useful for if I hit this. Like stuff like that. If I hit that, I can combo off of it. It's really cool. But if I have to block something, I'm probably going to die because that's what Robo Fortune is. That's where... can I use that? That's where the idea of having dash assist comes in. Like, I'm just basically kind of, forcing the block string. That's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, I can use stuff like that to kind of get Robo Fortune out in a dire strait. Like, it's like he blocked my mix-up or somehow. Like, I'm stuck in a position where I have to kind of use Robo as I have to use something to get out of here. But my DPS is probably going to get baited, and because it's Big Band, it's Light Extend, the first hit is going to be vulnerable, so it's easier to, hit him out of Light Extend. What was I going to say? So, like, having Robo Misfortune as a dash assist is useful for that. So it kind of saves me. I mean, like I was saying, like, I want to save my red life. The red life, saving red life is cool and all, but if you're kind of stuck in a position where you have to, if Robo is going to die from set play, and it's not an unlikely scenario that she will die from set play. It happens. She is, like, incredibly weak, like, in that aspect. So you need something to cover for her, and having a DP assist is fine. But if the DP assist gets baited, it's your ass. It gets happy birthday or stuff, and it's not fun times. So it's like, okay, well, if I block something, okay, I forgot. I can, and I have several defensive options from here. I can use my jab, I can use Viper Upper, I can kind of just, if they're looking for something, I can just get out of the way. If they're using, something that I can low profile with my dash, I can do that too. Can I do that? I can't think of anything that would be particularly easy to low profile. But it's a thing you can try. Using for her dash. It might be able to low profile some stuff. Oh yeah, there we go. Like, it might be able to low profile some stuff. You don't really know. So it's like, okay, so I have my two potential points. I have Misfortune with head on or head off. And I have my basic sort of strategy that, okay, I want the corner because I want corner headless setups. And with Robo, I want the corner because my set play becomes a lot more useful. My air throw, I don't need an air dash to convert, not an air dash, a double jump to convert off of it, so I can use like Yeah, I can use like setups like that to easily convert off of my head throw. Like that's stuff I can do with it. Like I can use like light kick, air throw. Like there's plenty of stuff. Oh, no, my throw. A throw gets a lot more utility. How did I forget that? My throw gets a lot more utility because it's not. I don't need to use an assist for it. So this corner is really important for me. So I need ways to set it up. So I have to look for stuff like, okay, well, I need some conversions that give me good corner carry and like this. With combos, it's not really particularly what I'm concerned about. You can look for combos in your own time. Uh, combos for stuff like that. I can use like several dust loops. Wow, as such. You can use like that and stuff off of it. Whatever. There's stuff you can try off of it. It's not impossible. You can certainly look for it. I think it's harder with this team than it used to be for Philia because you could use Herbal. Whatever. I mean, you can create combos for that. You can create combos for different situations. Like if you want to, what was I looking for? Like if you want to get Fortune out and get Robo in, you can set up combos where you can kind of, I think you do some stuff with that. I'm not like I used to play headless, but I forgot most of the stuff. Well, you can like head on to head off, then nom, and then you can get Robo, and there's the stuff you can do with it, especially with beat extend. There's plenty of stuff. What's the point I'm gonna say? Well, like okay, I have my 2 potential points set up. I have Robo, and I have Misfortune. So it's like okay, well, where does Big Ben come into this? Big Ben is the main assist on my team. He's the defensive kind of shield I have. He's really useful for conversions. Ideally, I don't want him in, and there might be like especially in duo, you can't really afford that. So if you have a trio, that's an advantage you have, that you can afford to kind of have a character that you can kind of not have to bring in. Bringing in Big Ben is fine. Like he has good mix up. Yeah, you can do like stuff. So he's not, oh, I forgot. No. You can do stuff with him. Yeah, it's really booty ass combo, but like there's stuff you can try with it. Like Beam helps protect your freaking OTG, so you can just do stuff with it. But like the point is, I don't want Big Band in. I don't want to use the term weak link, but he's not the character I'm the most concerned about. It's a character. Okay, it's a character that if he goes away, a fair bit of the utility of my team goes away. So it's like I need to protect him. I need to not kind of let him in. It's if he gets in, if he dies, which is it can happen. A way like if I have like assume I have the other character in the like other team. My team is the other team. Like I call Big Ben in. I have several sort of set play stuff to deal with him. Like I have stuff. You can make it to that. And especially for team building, if you're looking at the other opponent's team, that's something you really need to look for. Is what is their weak link? People might say my weak link is Robo Fortune. I don't particularly think so because I think Dash AC is a plenty strong, useful, plenty strong defensive tool that kind of makes the Robo Fortune not necessarily the weak link. I mean, if you take away Robo Fortune from my team, Fortune Big Band is still plenty strong. It's okay. It's not too bad. It can still work. I have plenty strong DHCs either way. I have good assists. Big Ben particularly doesn't really need a DP assist, so he's fine. Like he's okay with using dash AC as a counter. It's fine with him. Like, but if you take Big Ben out of my team, I don't think Misfortune, I don't think that the double cuts team is very good in this game because, like, if it's it really is weird in this team, especially because I have several, I have set up the team this way that even if one of my characters do kind of dies, I don't, um, it's not as horrible for me, that like if on my older teams like I played Filia, RoboFortune, Big Band, and like Filia with like H Hairball, and if I lose Big Band and RoboFortune's coming in, it's a terrible time for me. I can't really like. I mean, I can use Alpha Counter Gregor with Filia, but that's spending 2 bars, whereas with this I spend just one. That's something that's useful. But like if RoboFortune gets in, generally it's gonna be a pretty tough time for me. I don't have a DP assist to kind of rely on as a tool you need to kind of back off from, and like I don't have as many defensive options. But like with RoboFortune, I have several. I have Dash AC. So it's like picking out a weak link on my particular team is, I would say fairly difficult. But there are some teams that is fairly easy to do it with. Like, what would be a good example for this? Like some duos are, really, obvious that you take one character out and the other character just kind of fumbles. It's not as like I think what would be a good example for this, like from other fighting games. Trying to think right now. Like, really struggling to think of an example here, but there's at least one I can kind of think of. Like the main assist would be like Team Santhrax, like in Marvel 2, what's his name? Storm Sentinel, I think Sentinel Storm Capcom, or like Storm Sentinel Capcom, doesn't really matter. But like Capcom assist is really useful for it's a huge pillar that you use to set up tons of stuff, and if you immediately kind of take off Capcom assist, if you kill Captain Commando, immediately, a lot of the team loses a fair bit of its utility because they used Capcom as a thing that Sentinel used to do a lot of damage with, and like Storm really uses it as a pillar shield and stuff. It's like really useful for that team. And if you take away that main assist, a lot of the team's utility goes away. And especially like I would say, Big Ben would be like if you're looking to kill, like if you're the Cerebella Big Ben in the situation, and you want to kill a character, you want to get in a character that you think is the most problematic. Oh, I would say, oh god, I messed up. Like, I would say to take out Big Bang, Like, if he dies, especially because his defense, you can exploit his defense because he's really big. You can listen over really easily. Like, this stuff you can do to him. He would be, I would say, one of the easier characters to sort of, I would say, not necessarily open up, but, like, you have things you can do to kind of exploit him, and if he wants to map something, he's gonna die immediately. It's kind of a weak example, really. Yeah, that's that's one of the benefits of this team is that you have to look at. It's about balancing, one, how effective your team has to be, and two, how easily it crumbles. So like, what could be a good team for this? Like say a team like Filia, RoboFortune, Pain. Well, it's some two. Whoops. Like two characters that don't really go well, but they kind of support the third character. Or like, no. But let's just say in a hypothetical scenario, you have X, Y, Z, and Y, Z don't really synchronize well together, but they both have really good assists or like other kind of values that that are really useful for X. I mean, let's just put it theoretical that RoboFortune kind of uses like RoboFortune uses Misfortune and Big Band a lot. Let's just assume it's a bad example and it's not particularly truthful, but it's something. So that I would really, if my first character dies, the other two don't really have good synergy. It's a very point heavy team. Like how point heavy, or how one character's heavy you want to make a team versus how well rounded, how balanced that team has to be. Like you have to balance that out. If you're looking for a point heavy super aggression team, then you need to think about, okay, well, if my character dies, what kind of backup do I have? Maybe you don't want a backup. You're confident in your ability that I'm just gonna, like if it's like a Wolverine team in Marvel 3. They're like, I'm Wolverine, I'm just gonna tear through everything. I don't really care, I'm not care in the world. I'm just gonna, blah, 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 I'm just gonna go in and then destroy everybody. Then sure, if you're, playing that kind of a style, it's better to optimize for your first character because you are looking for a scenario where, it's all or nothing. And if you do get the first in, it's like you're just, I'm gonna tear through your whole team. It's something you just hold that. So it's like, okay, then you optimize for that. But it's like, okay, well, maybe my team is not that great at getting the first touch. Then, if compared to like say a Wolverine team or whatever, like, then you have to be kind of more balanced in looking for, like Magnum Virgil would be a good example compared to like Magnum Sentinel in Marvel 3. Like if you have Magnum Sentinel, it's extremely point heavy. Sentinel is not a very good anchor. Rare Ray makes him work, but like Sentinel is not that great of an anchor. Doom can kind of work, but like Sentinel is still not. Like, but but that team is more Magneto heavy, so you have to look at, okay, well, I'm Magneto, and my other partners are Doom and Sentinel. My team is more point heavy. I have missiles. I have I mean, depends on the team, but like you would use like missiles or plasma. I mean, like you have options for Doom, whatever. But like with Sentinel, I have drones, and mag drones is really strong. With like I would say, whatever. Like like I have Robo Fortune Big Man, and that's really strong. I have this really strong shell. Like, that's the term I'm looking for, shell. Like I have this really strong shell. Yeah, that's the thing you can do. Like I have a really strong shell, but if I lose my point here, the shell uses a lot of its utility. I mean, obviously, like duh, but like the team uses a lot of its. I put a little thought into my point character, but my point character died, so the rest of my team isn't as strong as say like a team that's more well rounded, like a Magnum Virgil. When you have Virgil incoming, and like it's kind of a weak example because Virgil Anchor is trying to get less. It's starting, Marvel T getting more point heavy. But like the point is, if you have a well balanced team, it's harder to break that team down. It's harder to kind of find effective strategies that will work, that you don't have answers to. That like hmm. Like if it's a team that you have a simple answer to, that okay, I look at this team and I kind of know that I'm gonna do this. That I'm gonna what's I gonna say? Like a good example would be like Theremin's freaking like where is it? I'm gonna show this team. Like there are two teams that my friend Clarence Smith played before he stopped playing this game. Like one of the teams he played was Valentine. I think this Painwheel with like this and Big Man with this assist versus Valentine with this assist. I think he picked. I think he picked. No, not that. There we go. That with that. No, not the blade. Axe and Big Bang. Like, the team on the left is the team he used to play before, and the team on the right is the team he kind of like quote unquote plays now, but like he doesn't play the game as much. So like, the team on the left is way more well rounded when you think about it, because okay, both teams have value and beat extend, and that shell is really strong. So it's like, okay, if I want to get rid of this team, the easiest thing I can attack in both teams is attack the big band. I want the big band out. I don't want to deal with him. It's a pain dealing with beat and assist. The first thing I want to do when I get a hit is snap him out, snap him in. So But with Big Band Painwheel, the problem is if Big Band matches any super, I mean he can't match super at the start of the round, at the start of his. I think he can be at the end. Let me just test that right now. Before I say something that is potentially wrong and I get flamed for it everywhere, it's gonna be amazing. But let's go to
Keep going. We just a good part. Time out. Like American football. Again.
so like okay, you corner Valentine and you snap Big Band in.
そして時は動き出す。
Oh yeah, I messed it up already. Ah, whatever, that works. That also works. So like, I have a situation where Big Bang gets snapped in. Big Band gets snapped in. Damn, I'm mashing so hard the game froze. Okay, so you can still, DT out. So like the point is, oh, stop it.
American football.
Don't do this to me, game. So like, the point is that if you do snap in Big Band, and Big Band is the weaker part of this team, if you snap in Big Band, Pinwheel's gonna come in, like, he's gonna mash anything, and Pinwheel's gonna come in and make that DHC safe. Because the hatred install works that way. So they still, it's silly. So it's like, okay, well, I don't want to deal with the hatred install Pinwheel when I just blocked a Big Band Super. So it's like, you have to break that team down in a more creative way. So it's like, okay, I'm probably gonna attack Pinwheel. But Pinwheel's sort of incoming defense is really strong with Thresher. And kind of just, I mean, Thresher is pretty much the best tier super in the game, as far as defense is concerned. And, she starts, every character, like, you start the game with 1 meter, so it's like, you always have Thresher in deck if the Valentine players look, smart. It's just like, it's really hard to attack this team. You have to have a super, like, you need to snap in Pinwheel, and you need to avoid Thresher and kind of mix her up and kill her. But even if you do kind of get Pinwheel in a situation where she kind of has to guess, she always can rely on the, there we go. You have Big Band assist as defense, and it's not great. But it's still something. You can't effectively mix this team up really well, as compared to say, like, I mean, of course, Big Band light extinguisher is always a factor, and you can use. If you want to mix Pinwheel up in the air, she always has Thresher. It's like, I'm just gonna mash this out. I don't care. It's a thing I can try. And if you mix her up on the ground, she has Beat Extinguisher to kind of, mess with your stuff and just like, you have like option flex to deal with it, like late checks and stuff like that. Like her Pinwheel's defense in the air is really strong, and on the ground it's magnified by the fact that you have beat extend or like a DP assist in general. Whereas compared to say if I get the other team in the corner, it's god, why did I do this? The other team is a lot easier to break down because it's a lot more point heavy. It's that okay. Well, if I get a hit, I can snap in Big Band. I can either just kill Valentine because it's okay, because Pinwheel second on the left team makes it so that any like if you mash a super, you can potentially get a lot of damage out of it, and you can make it safe somehow. I mean, it's not particularly safe. There's ways you can punish it, but like in general, it's a lot harder to punish this DHC in the 8-run install than say like just this alone, whatever. Say okay, I can attack this team a lot more easily, but the neutral, because this team is a lot better in neutral because it's a lot more point heavy, is because oh god, don't do that. Because I mean yes, that's too, but this as well. It's a super good assist that covers. It's like a beat extend quote unquote that has longer startup but kind of stays further. It covers a lot. It covers a lot more space on the screen, and it's really good. But it's like okay, well I get the better neutral, and it's a lot more point heavy. But I kind of lose the fact that my defense was a lot more impenetrable before, Now it isn't. So you have to kind of balance that. It's like, okay, do I push the points? Like, do I try to optimize for a certain character or a point? It might be the point, it might be a second character, third character, doesn't really matter. Generally, it's the first and second. But, yeah, either you optimize for one character alone, or you optimize for the general game plan of the whole team. In that, you kind of assure the safety of the whole team. It's that, if I get hit in a certain situation, I have defensive options that are really strong that the opponent needs to watch out for. Just like stuff like that. It's really fun. I wish I actually played some more. But what else can I think of? That's the general gist of it. It's like you need to find something at the start of the at character select.
Oh, keep going.
What
Just that
you
good part.
like? I'll TLDR this because I need to go soon. But like, you look at character select. You have to look at, okay, these are the characters I'm gonna pick, and this is the general game plan I want. I want, like, with my team, it would be like, I want the corner mix up. I want the corner. I want the positional advantage. I want all of it. It's beautiful. And there's several different ways to go about it. And like beam assist is really good. I have a neutral with misfortune that is really strong and kind of really hard to penetrate really well. And kind of I have several different options that come from my two assists and my general mobility options. And as I get a first hit, there are several different game plans I can take off of that. I can, try to get Robo in as soon as possible, which is okay. Which is like a thing I can do because Robo, like, I get meter really well with misfortunes, and I can get DATs really easily because misfortune builds a ton of meter with just a meter game, and like even if not that, I can just set up like raw tags with nom and stuff like that. I mean, there's stuff I can do. And when I get the first hit, it's like if I kill the first character, what are my options? I can either continue to pursue the misfortune corner mix-ups with with head off, headless, or I can kind of pursue Robo Fortune's corner mix-up, which is a lot safer, kind of stalls more time, not necessarily, but like you can do kind of combos that kind of waste a lot of time, so that Misfortune's life comes back. If you're planning to optimize Misfortune, you want to have her on the screen as long as possible, and Robo Fortune kind of helps with that because I can do long combos that kind of help regain Misfortune's life. And if Robo Fortune kind of finds herself in a pickle, I can kind of dash AC to Misfortune if I really wanted to. I don't necessarily need to because I generally have a full life bar and I'm kind of doing corner mix-ups. It's really good for me there. But if I have to, I have a defense option that I can kind of rely on. And I have Big Band on my team because his assist provides a lot of general utility to my team. It's a part. It's like the part of the screen I just cover really well. It's a threat at any point. I can kind of call Big Band. You need to be really careful. And having that as a neutral benefit is really useful. And I have, heavy damage DHCs. I have lots of stuff on me. Like that's a lot of stuff. And I have like the best defensive options ever, pretty much. I have DP, I have parry, I have air super, I have like whatever I want. I have armor. There's tons of stuff I can do. So like using that sort of idea. I mean, you can also build point-heavy characters. Like you can. I used to play Philia, Robo Fortune with Standing Hard Punch, and Big Band with Brass, because it's a team that kind of allows me to push my mix-up. Like if I built my team around the corner and general safety of my team. You can kind of opt for damage and like having heavy hitting assists like Hard Punch, Lock and Load, and Heavy Brass. You can opt for that, and like it's like I want to kind of do just two mix-ups and kill you, and like two mix-ups and kill you, and you can opt for that too. That's the thing you can attempt as well. But like you need to have a general game plan, and once you have a general game plan, it's like okay, what are my options once I get a hit? What are my options when I kill the first character? What are my options if one of my characters is in danger? Like if Misfortune's in danger, I have. Oh shit. Oops. Like if Misfortune's in danger, I have what do you call it? I have my center DP, I have my jab, I have my stuff, I have my super DHCs. Um, if Robo Fortune gets in trouble, I have my dash AC, extremely useful, and I have my DPS, which is also kind of useful. If Big Bang gets into trouble, I have dash AC again, which is useful. I have a plethora of other defensive options because I don't want to block. And like that stuff. Like I built my team around that. If you want to build a team around damage, or if you want to build a team around keep away with Peacock and stuff, Peacock, big Parasol, stuff you can do that. Like if you want to build a team around keep away, you can do that. If you want to build a team around I keep saying again, I built my team around corners, I can do that. If you want to build a team around, keep away or rush down or like zoning, there's plenty of stuff you can do. See, I'm kind of repeating this a lot of stuff that I'm saying, but like you need to have a game plan. You need to kind of look at teams and say these are what my characters in conjunction are supposed to do in the middle of the match, and kind of that's how and you look at different situations and are there points that in your team you don't want certain characters coming in? Like I don't want Big Bang coming in at all. Big Bang coming in, playing as point much at all, unless I really need to save life on both of my characters. Like, that's the thing I have to look into. Maybe there are characters like where all three characters kind of get a lot of mileage, and that's the thing that exists. And it's more likely in duos where like one character will be better at one thing and the other character will be better at other things. So like there's stuff like that. So it's just basically like thinking about what are the characters you're picking doing? What's the point of those characters? What are their objectives? What is your objective? So like once you plan that, then you can start studying. Oh god. Then you can start studying. Okay, this is the kind of mix-up I can do that relates to this. It's that okay. I want a situation where I can get Robo in and kind of make them deal with a mix-up. Where like, if I really want like if I want let's pick team. That's okay. Like if I want to get Robo Fortune out, if I want to get Misfortune out and I want Robo Fortune in, I can DHC to Magnet and get a mix-up. It's a thing where I still have a position of like mix-up advantage. Oh god.
Back to action.
If I do that, like I can use DHCs as a position. Like it's just, this is just basic kind of teal baiting stuff. But it's like okay, what was I gonna say? Like, probably gonna revisit this whole thing. I just remembered a lot. I'm probably gonna make notes out of this stuff. I can't really think of much else. Like, just be smart. Like, don't. If you want to make a team based because they're your waifus, that's fine. That's a thing you want to do. That's okay. But if you want to make a good team, those are the things that you look into. It's that okay. What is your team supposed to be around? What is your team meant to do? And also meter. I didn't even talk about meter at all. Like, I barely talked about it, but like, meter is really important. Who's gonna use the meter? Who's really good at building meter? Misfortune is extremely good at building meter. Who's gonna use the meter? Robo Fortune, especially if she's last, or like she's the only character left. Robo Fortune makes a good use of meter because the magnet mix-up is really useful. Where is it? Ground pick 4. Like, that's a mix-up you can do. It's really cool. But, that's like, that's a good reason why I would want to use meter a lot with Robo Fortune. Especially, especially in the corner. If I have a head out. Doesn't gonna work. Oh, god. But like, I have a setup for that where you, like, if you use up OTG and you use mine, you can create really good mix-ups with it. But like, okay, if I wanna spend meter with Robo Fortune to get more damage, and especially like for damage, because Beam Super does a lot and Magnet does a healthy chunk. I'm not building that much meter for the opponent. Like there's stuff you can, that's where I would say like that's where most of my meter goes. It's trying to bring Robo in and kind of using, yeah, kind of like applying Robo mixes and stuff like that. So like in general, like who meter, your general game plan, your strategy, like your strategy and game plan are two different things. I would say like strategy would be like I want to play a runaway team, or I want to play like a corner based team, or I want to play a zoning team, or I want to I want to pick a damage team, or a set play team. Like that's your strategy, and your game plan would be like, okay, how do I execute my strategy? So it's like, I want the corner, I want get corner, I want to get really good mix ups off of it, and it's like, okay, then you look at what parts of your team are more sort of important for you to preserve. Like you want to save your characters. Like I really want X character out, or I want like because it might be due to matchup, it might be due to your own preference, it might be something like the opponent doesn't the opponent doesn't know the matchup. Like there's stuff like that you can use it for. And I can't really think of much else that I'll start rambling at this point. I really need to get going. I can't really think of anything else. What might be important for team building? And that's pretty much it, really. Probably that thing can make harder somehow. I don't know. Like that's pretty much it. Can't really think of anything else. So probably upload this. Actually, I don't know if I'll upload this. I'll probably need to revisit it. Whatever. I would say that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna get out soon. Bye.